Well, there's good news and there's bad news.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
The bad news is that the overlords at YouTube and other places have gotten at me a couple times. One for my sort of over exuberant enjoyment of cleavage, but then this last time, and I will publish this on Rumble later, but for advancing conspiracy theories, dangerous conspiracy theories, is what was said to me in the documentation. In the documentation that I will post later on Rumble, I want to say in advance that I'm not a lawyer. I am not in any position to be making legal accusations, but in the High Court of Citizen Arcane, they are guilty. And there's a couple things that I have done about that. The first of which is that I have invested in Rumble. Now, I don't think Rumble is going to take over this particular space. I do think YouTube provides a service that needs to be done, but I do think eventually competition will catch up to it. Again, I don't think it's necessarily going to be Rumble, but I am now the proud owner of, I think, 55 shares of Rumble stock. David Rubin doesn't have to watch out. I'm not coming after his slot, but there is that. And so the good news from that is that there still are banned books. For those of us who really enjoy the idea that we're getting away with something when we're reading a book, there are some books that are clearly under the evil eye of those forces. And I forget what it's called when government, the media, and industry work together to stifle the will of the people. I forget what that is called, but we will go ahead and move forward with the things that we've got. Now, I wanted this little mini video to just be about how this channel is going to be going forward. Again, as I've already mentioned, I am going to do other channels. On this channel, I will not be talking about politics very much. First of all, my political opinions are not all that, not all that spectacular. I think if you take my political opinions and $5 down to your local coffee shop, you will get the coffee. But if you go without the $5, the coffee will not be forthcoming. Now, again, I did want this, originally this channel was going to be mostly about books. Of course, lately it's been mostly about obscure sports and off-brand sports. But, and I thought I was going to be doing top fives, but reading 5 books about anything can be kind of an arduous task, especially if you try to do it, at one time or whatever. So that said, I just wanted to, discuss that a little bit. And going forward, I will do a channel where I put my musings down. I've got some big plans in place. And for this channel, still, I've invested a little time and money in some software, basically. But back to the original point, I did want to mention that another book that I think certain people will take a dim view of is Primetime Propaganda by Ben Shapiro. I don't think Ben and I would enjoy each other's company, but it is a pretty good book. And one of the things that sort of reminded me of is that there never was a golden era of objective journalism in the United States, or frankly anywhere. By virtue of the fact that you're presenting information to an audience, you are probably presenting it with a slant. But what bothers me about the recent discussion is the new movement towards stifling voices has to do with misinformation and lies, preventing lies. Well, I think what we should be doing as a society is moving towards people that are better critical thinkers and more likely to just call out lies, especially lies from authority. A healthy skepticism of any mechanism of control, whether that be the government, church, media, entertainment, anybody that's trying to influence you in any way should be met with a healthy degree of skepticism. That doesn't mean, that you're cynical, but anyway, that's where I stand. And I did want to make one more point about my reading of history. I will concede the fact that I mostly read pop history. So I try to read the academic stuff sometimes, but the stuff that I burn through, the stuff that I enjoy the most, is kind of pop history, and that does lead to sometimes not necessarily, the vantage point with a super strong overview, which again just means that when I speak to matters of history, I'm not asking people to take it too seriously. Although when I make accusations of narrative-based history, I think that I maybe deserve an open ear. Anyway, that said, I just wanted to get those things off my chest. Let me know what you think. This is the way things are going to be going forward. But again, this channel is mostly going to be lighter fare. Let me know what you think. Please do like, subscribe, and share this in any way that you can. We're getting close to 500 subscribers, and when that happens, there will be some prizes. Much appreciated.